AI resident. I joined Apziva in March this year. I'm originally from South Africa, and I've been in Saudi Arabia. Then I ventured into machine learning. Maybe before I say much, let me just allow you to hear something. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Alvin Moyo, and I am a resident here at Apziva. Thank you for joining me today for this workshop. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
All right. Apologies for getting too excited and not finding the effective way of sharing there. Okay.
That power comes with a great deal of responsibility. Before we go any further, I want to talk about the ethics.
All right. Let's hear something else quickly.
Well done. I think that is a good idea. By creating the voice clone and the final demo at the same time, you are killing two birds with one stone.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Did anybody recognize that voice?
Well done. I think that is a good idea. By creating the voice clone and the final demo at the same time, you are killing two birds with one stone.
It looks like you stole my voice.
How about this?
Sesklonunu ve finalde musunu düzneranda yaratarak bir katratlu atides katrat which would use fratun.
Did you all hear that?
Yeah.
Did it make sense to anybody?
To me, yes.
It's in Turkish, yes.
All right. All right. Thank you. So, what you just heard there is a clip that I managed to make or to clone voices. There were two clips of my voice, my cloned voice, and one for Semi's voice. It's all because I went through the program of AI residents at Apziva. My journey, like I indicated earlier, with Apziva started in March this year. But before that, I worked in South Africa for about 15 years in the finance and accounting field. And I had no clue, I knew nothing completely about AI or data science. So last year in July, I enrolled into a postgraduate diploma in data science. And when I finished my postgraduate diploma in data science, I had a good grasp of theory. I knew Python, classic machine learning models, but I was missing a crucial piece, which is the industry experience. And that is what brought me to Apziva. Apziva has given me exposure to real industry projects like this one that I'm going to take you through today. But more than just the technical skills that I have developed is the personal touch that I get through one-on-one mentorship. And I believe that is what has made the biggest difference. And I'm glad that my mentor is here, Sammy. I've discovered myself in ways I could never imagine through this journey that I've been working with Apziva. So it actually made me a confident person in AI through these real industry projects that I've been working on. And we are here where we are today because, yeah, I'm still work in progress and I'm getting better at this. So that's my journey. The purpose of our meeting today. Let me share the screen. The purpose of our workshop today is to learn how to clone your voice. For you to clone a voice, you need a good reference text. So I managed to clone mine and Sammy's voice because I managed to go to YouTube using a program in Google Colab. And I took a link to the YouTube video and managed to extract a voice clip, a 20-second clip that I then managed to clean and to filter out to make it as my reference voice. And besides that, I need to create an anchor segment. So after cleaning the audio, the reference audio, I also managed to transcribe it. In other words, what is being said in the clip, you need a transcription or the words that are being said. And I managed to take those words and then I managed to generate the cloned voice. So it's basically a garbage in, garbage out kind of scenario. If your reference cloning, if your reference voice is not very clear, you will not produce a good output. I had a first-hand experience with that. If you don't put the correct transcription of the clone, you will end up with a terrible voice clone at the end of the day. So you need to make sure that that alignment is there. You need the exact words that are being said so that you can get a clean reference at the end of the day. So for you to generate, you need a text-to-speech model. And in this case, we use the Sesame model to clone the voice. So basically, that's what you need for you to clone a voice. So from when you clone your voice, for you to be able to then have a conversation, we say with one of the objectives of this workshop is to build a conversational pipeline. For you to build a conversational pipeline, you need ears, you need a brain, and you need a mouth. So the ears that we have in this scenario is a whisper, which listens to the voice that you say, and then you need a brain. In this case, you could have ChatGPT-4 or Gemini, or the free models like your Llama, or even Quen, to be able to decipher what you have said and respond to what you have said. And then you then need a mouth for you to have a conversational pipeline. And in this case, the mouth is the cloning that we did. It is the Sesame model, which will be the mouth. It will then produce the cloned voice and respond to what you have said. So you need user interface and for you to be able to then interact. And that user interface, you find it from an app called Gradio. So you create a Flask API in Google Colab, and then for you to be able then to interact with what you have created, you need a user interface which is provided by Gradio. So let me just do a demonstration of what I've just said. Let me share that screen. right? So let me just walk you through the process. So initially I cloned the Sesame, the original Sesame GitHub repo, and downloaded some dependencies. And then I worked on building my mouth, which is the model, the Sesame model, that then works with the clone voice that I would have created using the reference text and the reference audios. And then from that, we now have cloned our voice. For that interaction to happen, we go to Gradio, and then in Gradio, when I run Gradio, this is actually running as I speak to you. So I will need to go into the Gradio, which opens a different tab, and I need to share that with you. Right. So as my Google Colab is running there, I now have this user interface in Gradio, and I can speak in my voice, which is, and the whisper will be the ears to hear what I've said, and then ChatGPT-4 will respond. So let me just ask a question in my voice. So here there are three samples of voices. It's defaulted to my voice. Let me say something. Who is the fastest man in the world? So I've asked a simple question. So I ask ChatGPT-4 to respond, and it generates a response for me. All right. Okay, I think I ran this program much sooner before we started. Let me run it from the top, and when it's ready, I'll come and play for you something. Then I just restart session and run all. All right. Very soon it will be ready and we'll come back to it. Let me go back to my presentation. So there is a note on ethics that's very important. It's important for you to get consent before you clone a voice. It's always important for you to disclose when AI is speaking. And to do that, you can watermark to make sure that somebody knows that this is AI speaking. And you need to be responsible in your use of AI. Avoid misuse in fraud and impersonation and misinformation. So AI isn't just about what we can do, but what we should do. So I could have cloned Alvin and the chipmunk's voice, but I didn't get that right or that permission. I could have cloned Donald Trump's voice, for example, but I didn't get that permission or approval or authorization to use Donald Trump's voice. it could be fun for you to hear, Trump's voice being cloned here. But there are those legal implications. There are those ethical implications where you just use somebody's voice, even though it's not illegal, which I doubt it isn't. But is it ethical for you to use somebody's voice without? So I had to speak to Sammy and ask that I use his voice. That's why I cloned Sammy's voice today. So it's important for us to answer that ethical question. Let me check to see if my notebook has run successfully. Yes, my notebook has run successfully. Let me go to do a demonstration. All right. So let's go to that user interface. Let me share that screen with you. Right. Let me see if all the voices are here this time around. Okay. I've got all the voices unlike before. Right. I'd asked, who is the fastest man in the world? Let me see if it's clean. Right. Right. I'd asked, who is the fastest man in the world? Okay. Let me see if I can get a response from my model. Right. It generated a response, and if you can see there, the fastest man in the world typically sprinters in 100 meters. As of 2023, Usain Bolt holds the record of 9:58 seconds. Let me hear my voice, if it can respond in the cloned voice that I have for it.
Fastest men in the world are typically sprinters competing in the 100. As of 2023, Usain Bolt holds the world record with a time of 9.58 seconds.
Okay, so you can note this gap in the response, and it is because my question also was that poor quality. I had the option to trim it and make sure that the question is clear and well defined, that it could respond also clearly. Let me ask something else in my other voice and see a response from it. I will delete that one. Let me maybe ask for some feedback. Why did the chicken cross the road? Sure, that's clear enough. Let's get a response. Right? To get to the other side. Okay. That's an AI responding to me to say to get to the other side. Let me use Sammy's voice. Let me say something. Please tell me an AI joke. Let's hear what it will say. I'm expecting it to respond to me in Sammy's voice that I did clone.
I'm getting excited.
All right, there is a response for us there.
Why did the AI go broke? It couldn't find its cache.
Oh, come on. It
No,
started
no,
well,
no.
but
If I
Why did
It-
the AI go broke? It couldn't find its cache.
it didn't know what it catch. Okay, let's. So there is also an option here to get feedback from text. I just copied the text. Why did AI go broke? It couldn't find its cache. Let's get Sammy to respond to that, rather to repeat those words. Let's hear what it has to say.
Why did the AI go broke? It couldn't find its. Why did the AI go broke? It couldn't find its.
All right, so it didn't answer the full question when I asked it in Sammy's voice. Let me try it in my first voice sample and ask it to generate a response. So I do have the option of controlling the words per second or the temperature. The temperature refers to the creativity, where it pauses in between the speech or clears the throat. It's controlled by the temperature setting there. So let's see what the other voice, how the other voice can respond.
Why
here.
did the AI go broke? It couldn't find its cache.
All right. That is the response I'm getting there. Let me get to see if I can get a Shona response. If I can input some Shona words here. Still generating. So Shona is one of the Zimbabwean languages, which is not so mainstream. And I don't think there are models that are trained in such a language. So it will not give as precise a rendition of the Shona language, because it's not something it's not trained in. But let's just hear the output from that, from those words that I just gave it there.
Bishamuga Mochira. Tay. Shimandizi Kwazvo.
Okay, it really struggled. It just said Nichamu Gamchia and then say Shemund with the Kwajo. It didn't read the whole text. But I just wanted to demonstrate that you can clone any voice, and the reference voice that you choose, you can get this radio user interface to give you feedback in the selected voice.
Alvin, can you make me talk in Shona? Can we try that?
All right, let's try. Let me just limit your sentence because you will choke on Shona. I will just limit your sentence there and see. Yeah, let's see if it's a Shona. It's a Shona clip if you can articulate it well, Sam. Right?
I think you didn't choose mine.
Oh, I didn't choose your voice. Yes.
That's
All right. Let me hear if I improved.
Shimandi Dozekwazbo, Mochanaki.
It couldn't even finish the. All right. Let's see. Maybe Sammy speaks it better than I do. Right.
Shimandiudze Kwazvo Machna.
All right.
Shimandiudze Kwazvo Machna.
Shemundudze kwazo. Okay. Yeah. So we can actually ask something much more useful, a scientific question, and get feedback, because this is ChatGPT. We are expecting it to be able to give an intelligible answer. And one thing that I've not noticed, that the longer I play it, there is kind of a deterioration in the output that it can give. So I should be able to capture something much fresher from a fresher run. But anyway, let me just try to generate something once more on using Sammy's voice. How old is the planet Earth? So let me see if my question is clear enough. How old is the planet Earth? Okay, let's see if we can get a good response. Earth is approximately 4.5 billion years old. That's the response there in text, but let's hear the voice.
Earth is approximately 4.5 billion years old.
Did you hear that?
Earth is approximately 4.5 billion years old.
Does that sound like you, Sammy?
I mean, it does. I also asked my wife to listen to this, and she had hard time distinguishing it. So
Right.
yeah, I think you passed the test.
All right. So yeah, basically, this is an AI interface that we just had with our model. Let me go back to my presentation. So we discussed on the ethics of it, how important it is for us to make sure that we use AI responsibly. Maybe I want to talk briefly on my Mon Reader project. I had some say during the introduction that they're actually moving into work on this project. So this project managed to open my eyes, really, as I used all sorts of different AI models. And I have 6 phases in my Mon Reader project. So the first phase of the project was for image classification using CNN. I managed to create my own CNN. The measuring yardstick there was for us to have an F1 score, a high F1 score, and I did achieve that with my own custom-made model called Alvin Net, which I managed to tune using Lion and made it improve significantly. From the first phase where I used the original data set, I managed to create my own data by scanning a Shona hymn book. I don't know if Annie can see what I'm showing there on screen. by scanning pages of this hymn book, which is in Shona. I wanted to scan something in a language other than English. So the only non-English text I had in the house was this Shona hymn book. So I scanned the Shona hymn book and asked some OCRs to interpret the images that I was sharing. And because of the structure of the hymn book, they struggled to read the print that was in the hymn book, because there are many columns on one page, so it would mix numbers and words and songs, so it couldn't come up with clear text, but it was all jumbled up. And then from that, I created a hybrid pipeline where I managed to come up with a better OCR, which managed to successfully scan the hymn book. And then I gave some VLMs some text for them to find what it's saying and who the author of the hymn that I was sharing. And they struggled. Then I went to some PLMs and they managed to tell me who wrote the song, the particular hymn. So the Shona hymn book that I have is for the Lutheran Church in Zimbabwe, which was started by German missionaries initially. So most of the hymns are originally written in German and they were translated into Shona. So I managed to ask some AI models to tell me the original song that was translated into Shona and the context in the song, the liturgy in the song, the context in the song, and they managed to narrate what was happening, what the song is all about, and who wrote it, and what is the message in the hymn. And then from that, I managed to use some NLP to see semantic similarity, comparing the text in the Shona hymn from the English from which it was translated to see how similar that was. And then I went to the text-to-speech AI models, which managed to convert this text that I have here into audio. And that's how the idea of this particular workshop came about. So from that, I wanted to do some tuning using LoRa or QLoRa, but I found it requires hours of transcribed Shona text. Remember, the issue of transcribing, you need to have dozens and dozens of voice clips, more than 30 hours, and you need to have the transcription of those voice clips. And I wasn't gonna go through that. So what I did instead was to find one reader going through Shona, and I managed to make some clips to give it conditioning, to give the model conditioning to see if it can improve. I'm sure you heard those outputs that it was struggling with there. After going through a couple of clips, that is the conditioning, how to pronounce Shona words, to see if the AI model can then improve. So, yeah, basically, the unique thing about my pipeline is the Shona text, which I introduced in the second phase of my project, and had AI models analyzing Shona liturgy and doing the text-to-speech of Shona, as well as conditioning for authentic accent and rhythm. So what are the uses for voice cloning? Well, there are positive applications for voice cloning. Can you imagine in your home or in your car where you have your assistant speaking in a voice that you trust, that you prefer? It can be used in creating natural sounding audiobooks and screen readers for those with visual impairments. It can be used in entertainment and gaming. You can allow it to learn the particular player's voice so that it can speak with the exact voice in in-game characters. And then in medical applications, restoring a voice of a patient who lost their ability to speak, and you manage to clone their voice and they speak as if they still have their natural voice. That's how AI can be used positively. And of course, there is the issue of the ethical challenges that we have. Misinformation and deep fakes, generating audios to create fake news and fraudulent messages. I'm sure many of you, if you're on social media like Twitter, you would have seen some clips, videos with voices, and yet it's not real, it's not genuine, it's impersonation. This could be what, unfortunately, voice cloning could be used. Cloning for fraudulent purposes. Some transactions are voice activated. Some accesses are voice activated, and people can clone a voice and gain access into something that they're not supposed to access. So there is the issue of copyright and the right of publicity. Using a celebrity's voice or actor's voice without permission or compensation it's something to consider. So consent is of crucial importance, getting explicit permission before you proceed. After all, AI isn't just about what we can do. It's also about what we should do, and we should always do the right thing. So basically, this is what I had to share with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alvin, for this wonderful, presentation. And, before we wrap up, we would love to hear from all of you. So we will open the floor for a Q&A session shortly. So feel free to send your question using the chat, or you can raise your hand if you like to speak.
Oh, sorry. My light went off. Apologies for that.
It's totally okay.
Alvin, I don't think it's more so a question. It's just an observation. I noticed that with the way that your interface was, your GUI, for how you were able to choose the speed of the voice and the timbre was much different compared to models like the Gemini Live, which don't have that. And that's actually something that I was thinking that probably should be something that should be in other models that aren't there yet. So I think you kind of have a leg up on that, because that's something that I haven't seen in any text-to-speech model as of yet that's considered live. And if you actually play with the Gemini Live one, it sometimes doesn't understand the dialoguing when you're conversing back and forth with it. It kind of cuts you off, and then it kind of loses a bit. And I don't think as well, like also the part where you had on your, you had the text to speech portion, and then you had the vocal portion. also, Gemini is one that doesn't have it where it's integrated together. That's something I don't think any model yet has done. So kudos to you on that. Thank you for sharing this project. It was really interesting for me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lance. Yeah, it's all about the user interface that you use, really, and I'm glad that we kind of have that kind of interface on Gradio, because it's all about Initially, when I started, I was using Grok to share the output, and it doesn't have all those interventions. It doesn't have that complete user interface that we managed to get from Gradio that I just shared now. So yeah, it's a good thing that we have such user interfaces which can enable us to do more. And I want to add that it can actually, the limitation of what I was sharing with you is that as long as my page is not running, if I'm not running the cell which I executed to get that, the moment I stop it, it will not continue to play. I could actually share the link to you with you right now, and you can play it where you are. As long as I'm running it here, you will be able to interact with it. But for me to be able to play it beyond this this run, I need to. It's possible to do that on Hugging Face, so that possibility actually is there to deploy effectively on Hugging Face. Thank you for that feedback. Anyone else?
I think Yannick has a question. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. I have two questions. The first one is, your app may clone any voice? Your app may clone any voice?
Definitely. I can clone your voice. But for me to be able to do that, I need, like, if I listen to this recording, if this is recorded, I can go to where you just asked me a question right now and clone that part and record that particular, get a clip of that particular portion and just write the text of what you just asked me and save that in my Google Drive. And then when I run my code, the one I refer to as the mouth, it will pick your voice in a file and it will clone your voice.
Okay.
And even Donald Trump's voice, even any funny cartoon character's voice. But like I said, while least we can do it, it's important for us to do it ethically, get permission first. I'm sure we could actually write to, is it Disney, to ask for permission to clone a specific voice, and once we get that blessing, we can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Any voice at all.
And the last question is, I was thinking about the application of cloning the voice in industry, and you have shared some applications, and I get. And I don't know if is this a new domain in AI or it's a former domain, voice cloning.
Is it new?
A new domain in AI or a former domain, voice cloning? Is the voice cloning a new domain in AI or it's a former domain? Because,
I guess it has been there for some time, especially if you look at the models that are there. You can see that they have quite a history And I guess, things continue to get, innovation happens, it doesn't stop. So there are new advances, obviously, that are happening. If you look on YouTube right now, you will see that something new has been released with better clarity. So I believe it has been there for some time, but it's all about getting perfected. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I'm sorry about my light. My lighting failed me.
Not a question, but a comment. I don't easily get impressed, quite easily impressed. But thank you so much, Alvin. This was quite impressive effort and work. I mean, application-wise, there were some glitches, but I mean,
Yeah.
it is expected. These, by the way, these models you have been working with are cutting edge, very recent models. So it was quite impressive. In terms of applications in the industry, I wasn't thinking about it, but you just happened to show a very interesting use case. For instance, I am not speaking Shona, but in terms of localization, right? If let's say I have a content that I recorded or I have or written, let's say, this could be easily translated and read out loud by myself, right? I mean,
Yes.
in language, it could be Shona, Spanish, French, something like
Yes.
that. Even if I'm not speaking the language, so that's very interesting.
True.
And I think the applications are endless. I'm
That's
thinking like if like you want to like talk to, let's say, your lost relative, right? You can actually like make them read out loud something or like communicate with them. That's like that could be like very interesting use case. Or you can make like you can like make yourself or AI read books to your children.
Yes.
In
In
your
your grandmother's voice.
Yes. So
Because what you said, I saw somebody. I saw I don't know if it was a fake or real. Somebody had puppies of an animal that went extinct billions of years ago, and they were said to have recreated them using DNA, and they brought those animals back to life. Now I think there's an ethical taboo there, but it happened. And I'm thinking about bringing an old voice back to life and having that particular voice, that calming voice that you trust, being the one that speaks maybe in your GPS or if you have got a smart house where it speaks to you in your home. That could be quite nice, because you can take an old video of a beloved one who is long gone and have them to be with you. And I don't think there are many ethical barriers there, because it's within your right. Thank you, Sammy. I just wanted to comment on my wallpaper there. What you see there is a Zimbabwe bird, and the background is the Great Zimbabwe Wall. It speaks to Shona culture. I just adopted it. I just created it on my own here because I wanted to bring the Shonaness of or the Shonaness into this presentation. That's why we have that that wallpaper that's on the slide I'm sharing there. Yeah.
That's wonderful, Alvin.
Yeah.
So I assume we don't have any other. We have a question. Matt, go on, please. It was a mistake. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that brings us to the end of today's workshop. A big thank you to Alvin for walking us through the process of cloning a voice and generating speech from text with LLMs. It is always inspiring to see the innovative work of Apziva AI residents. We have plenty more hands-on session coming up where we will continue to explore exciting AI and data science topic with industry expert and Apziva residents. Thank you all for spending your time with us today. We look forward to seeing you at our next workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Ellie.